G'day everyone, Jason here with a review of the new Sam&Max figures from Boss Fight Studios. So these have winged their way from America. I bought these on pre-order some time ago and they've now finally shipped. So we have, obviously, the creations of Steve Purcell, Sam&Max. So Sam&Max, we've got Sam here, canine shamus. This is the packet, so it shows this is not a toy, adult collectible for ages 15 plus, interchangeable heads and hands, and then the authentic accessories. He's number 2, obviously Max must be number 1, and then on the back we've got a little cartoon strip, which is a classic sort of Steve Purcell cartoon, very frantic, over the top, zany. It's involving Nazis, it's involving ghosts, it's got the vehicle, it's got all the sort of the classic Sam&Max sort of tropes, fully posable. So Max is the rabbity thing and Sam is the canine shamus. So there we have the packet, and here's Max, rabbity thing. So again, it shows his authentic accessories, interchangeable heads and hands, not a toy. Some more artwork. I think that's the actual artwork from the front cover of the computer game, the original one, Sam&Max Hit the Road. So yeah, for those who don't know, Sam&Max were created by Steve Purcell, and then LucasArts actually made a game based on them, an old style adventure game in the sort of vein of Monkey Island. And yeah, I was a big fan of the game, and then I've played all the Telltale games as well. I even have the collected works of Sam&Max Surfing the Highway, which is all of the various strips over the years, and then some of the artwork from the game. So that's the color version of some of the artwork from the games. There's some color strips in there as well. So yes, I'm a big fan of Sam&Max. They did also have a cartoon series, which I have got on DVD somewhere, I think. But I'm really excited to open these guys up. So let's crack open the box and have a look at them outside. So in the actual packet that came from America, had this little message here. So thanks for purchasing our new Sam&Max figures. If you have any trouble moving a joint or swapping a part, we recommend gentle heating of parts with warm water or warm air from a hairdryer. Soften those parts, and very delicate movement of articulation points or careful connecting separation of parts when these items are handled for the first time to avoid breakage. Enjoy, Boss Fight Studios. And there's a great little bit of artwork there of Max in mid-flight. The good thing, well, I say it's a good thing, is that obviously long reach, we've just come into summer, so our average temperature is between sort of 40 and 45 degrees. So I would almost guarantee that these things come preheated. So hopefully we won't have too many issues with their joints, but let's take a look at them outside the box. Okay, so here they are, all laid out in their trays. So we have obviously the accessories, the gun with a purposely bent thing because it's supposed to be that long that it bends by its own weight. We've got one of those pull apart icy poles. A couple of different heads. I'm assuming the hat will be interchangeable. We've got the Max hand puppet made out of a paper bag. We've got a couple of different hands, and then we have our favourite rabbity thing. He comes with his German gun. He comes with the hammer. He comes with a very cool dial phone, normally where their missions come from. And then also a rat, as well as a couple of alternate faces and hands. I'm assuming the ears must pop out and just interchange with the different faces or heads. So anyway, let's have a closer look at each of them. So here's a closer look at the accessories, the hands. They are really well done. Look exactly like the cartoon. We've got the gun with the bent muzzle. We've got the little joint icy pole with it sort of leaking, melting. I do love this, the paper bag with the Max face on it, to be his little puppet. It's got a little handhold thing in there. It's sort of softer material, the paper, so it's a little bit sort of squishy. And then we've got an alternate head, which is like a sort of a whistling sort of effect, or an old boy, or a more sort of sedate face. And then we've got the angry face, teeth showing, bit of tongue. Mold is really great, the hair on top, the eyes, perfect. I mean, it's exactly like the Steve Purcell cartoons. And then we have the figure, and so he's got his smiling face on here. So the hat comes off his head, he's got the tie, he's got the feet, Steve Purcell. The tie and the jacket are of a softer material, same as the hat, a little bit squishy. Okay, so articulation wise, we'll take the hat off for a sec. So his head is on a ball joint, so he can look down a little, he can look, he can pop his head off, so you can see the ball joint there. So it is hindered a little bit by obviously the collar, but he can turn his head and look either directions. His ears don't get in the way, he can't really look too far back. So the arms go up about that far. They do rotate all the way around. He does have a sort of a ball joint at the waist, but obviously with the jacket, you can see there that he can get some movement, and he has obviously a waist twist as well. The legs can kick about that far forward, about that far back. Good bend there. They got a rocker joint as well as a little bit of a hinge in the foot. He's quite a solid figure. And then the arms, so they bend about 90 degrees, and then a twist at the wrist. So everything's the detail though is amazing. Like, look at the details on the suit. Everything looks really good, and he does stand quite well. He's solid, like he's got some heft to him, and it's good because, you know, he's a big character, and again with his little hat on. But let's have a look at him with some of his accessories and also with some of his different heads. Next up we have Max. So he comes with 2 fists, he comes with a pointing finger and a up yours or victory, and then a couple of sort of clawing hands, so they look like his sort of attack hands when he's leaping through the air at you. It then comes with a spare face with just eyes and nose, so mouth closed. He comes with the big smile with the teeth clenched. He comes with this cool little phone which can be used. We've got the oversized comedy hammer, again very much in the style of the Steve Purcell comic. We've got the Luger, which is one of his weapons of choice. And we've got this really cool mold of a rat, again in the Steve Purcell style. Rats are everywhere in their sort of apartment detective office. But yeah, so that's a cool little accessory as well. And then we have Max. What can I say? Like, it's the cartoon brought to life. Like, both of them are just amazing. So there's Max, and look, he's even got, you know, printing on the bottom of the feet with his pads. He's got the little tail on the back. I love the smile, the tongue's in there, the pink nose. He is very quintessential. As I said, they both look like they've stepped straight out of the cartoon or one of the computer games. So let's have a look at his articulation. Okay, so his head is on a ball joint, so he can turn. There's a little bit of movement forward, a little bit back, so you can sort of get up and see the teeth. So the ears are just plugged in, so I don't think they twist or turn. They're just in that particular format. So his arms come out. They go all the way around, despite his massive noggin. So they've got very small joints, but he does bend 90 degrees, and then obviously the hands rotate. Feet kick all the way up. They go all the way back. They have a nice knee bend, little popped knee there. No ankle articulation, but you know, given his size, and there's no sort of nothing in the waist or anything like that, so his articulation is a little bit more limited. But I guess that's probably because of the size, and they didn't want to break up the torso. So that's Max, and then I'm assuming with the heads, we can just simply pop them off very tight. There we go. Ooh. And the ears, yeah, so the ears come out, and it looks like the ears go in a particular way, so they're marked left and right. So we just pop those into the new head. Wanders around without a head, or a very micro head. He looks like he's visited Beetlejuice and has had the head shrunk by the... Then we just pop that on. So it is fairly tight, but that goes on, and there we have the big cheesy grin. And then obviously he's got his trigger hand at the moment, so that the hands are actually quite good. They're the finger goes in the trigger. It's quite easy to get in. There's a little bit of flex to the fingers, which is good. He's got a really good grip on the gun. So that, and then he can also hold the hammer with this other hand if he wants. So there we have. He is all kitted out and ready for battle. So let's have a quick look at some of the other accessories and his other face. And as such a big Sam&Max fan of the games, of the cartoon, of the comic books, and just the characters themselves, of course I have to have the Brickheads version of them. So this is Sam&Max. So Max has got the teeth happening there. He's got the wider sort of head. He's got the ears. He's got a gun. He's got a rat on a stick. And he's got the little tail at the back. And then we have our favourite canine Shamus. He's got the phone. He's got the striped tie and his jacket. He's got the oversized gun. And he's got his little hat up on a jaunty angle. And he's got the blue suit. Obviously different colours to the figures, but you know, I'm working with what I've got with Lego. So that is Sam&Max meet Sam&Max. You crack me up, little buddy. Thanks, Sam.